Hi Karthik.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Karthik, how are you? Hi Devanshi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay. So Devanshi, first of all, I would like to congratulate you on your super performance in CLAT,
Thank
achieving All
you.
India rank 27.
Thank you
And
so
at the
much.
same time, now you have secured All India rank 11 in A-Late. So that is something commendable.
Thank
Heartiest
you.
congratulations to you, dear.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So Devanshi, tell me one thing. I mean, to be in the top rankers, top performers of the country, how does it feel?
I still can't digest the fact that I'm actually in NLS Bangalore, even though I'm receiving all these mails that you have this commencement address, but it's definitely very, very overwhelming. And at the same time, it's, I think, like a very happy moment for all of us. So, yeah.
Okay, so when you saw your score, you saw your rank, what excitement level was there?
I was so excited that I started to cry because it was something I've been wanting for a very, very long time. And now that I was finally there, I think I started to cry. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So when did you start your preparation for CLAT?
I started my prep when I was in class 11th. So,
okay.
Yeah, so I prepared for the old pattern, I think very diligently. And when the pattern changed, then I got the obvious shock that what am I going to do, because of which my prep derailed slightly. But then I gave CLAT 2020 and like I got rank 665 in CLAT and 89 in ALET. But I was not satisfied with the college I was getting, even though it's an amazing college. But I thought that if I give it another try, then I can get into a better college, which would expose me to a variety of activities which were not available in HNLU Raipur. So, and I think Karthik Bhai also spoke to my mom the day my result came that I think she deserves another chance. And everyone was very supportive. So I took a drop year and I started to prepare again. And thankfully it worked out.
So that's a message I believe you would like to give to the students who actually, sometimes because although they have been preparing for 2 years, but they are not able to achieve their dream college. But then if you take a chance, you take a drop, might be, it is quite possible. And it is possible, as you have shown that, yes, if you are actually dreaming for something, it is possible.
Yeah, so, definitely.
Right, great. Karthik, you have been mentoring her personally. So how does it feel when your student scores so much and she gets a rank, such a good rank in India?
Yeah, I always knew that she had the potential coming from a very solid background of her understanding of language, her understanding of aptitude, and that's the difficult part. When you know that a kid is bright, to convert that bright kid into a result maker, that's the toughest part. And I think she has justified all her efforts, and the feeling is, I mean, happiness only. One more kid to NLS, and that's all we need. We're trying to create a cult, and it's happening. So yeah, as fast as possible.
Right. So Devanshi, what was your general strategy for preparation? What was your daily schedule?
Like Karthik Bhaiya told me to do everything, like all the subjects in a day. So every morning I would start out by making a checklist. So even if I was to do 2 reading comprehension sets and 20 math questions, and I think 30 critical reasoning questions or analytical reasoning questions, I try to do every subject every day, so I'm in touch with all of them. Because after a point of time when your skill is already developed, all you need is constant touch with the subject, and I think that helps you with the speed as well.
So perfect. So what was your general trend of scores while you attempted the mocks?
Like usually they were fine only, I think around 100, 105, 110. But sometimes I had days when the mock did not go my way, or the mock was such that I couldn't perform. And so like it has gone down as well. I won't say that I was always a topper in all the mocks, but yeah.
Yeah, in the CLAT prep mocks as well, your score was in the range of 85 to 110. But
Yeah.
then in most of the mocks, your performance was quite consistent. You were scoring around 100. So
Yeah.
what was the feeling when you scored 85? Did you actually put a question mark on your, strategy or something, your level of preparation? Anything? Does it
I mean,
happen?
I used to earlier, but then after a point of time, I realized that maybe if I'm not able to score in that mock, then many of the kids were not able to score, and maybe it's just another bad mock. But at the same time, it's very important that you analyze what all went wrong and not repeat those mistakes again. So I think that is one of the things which I learned from the bad mocks I had.
So, how did you analyze your mocks? This would help the students who are preparing for CLAT 2022 and 23. So
Right.
please say your strategy.
The key to analysis of mocks is to do all the questions again. I mean, at least I did that. And especially the ones which went wrong, it's very important that you understand the reasoning behind what the analysis is trying to say. And if you're not able to understand, then you can go to people, your seniors or your faculty members. Then I think they help you through it. And also, it's very important that you analyze a pattern. So for example, with me, I used to make a lot of silly mistakes. So it was very difficult for me to analyze a pattern and work on a particular thing. But then eventually I tried to make out that, yeah, I'm going wrong with reading comprehension, so I need to practice more of inference based questions. So that's how it worked for me.
So basically, was it like reading comprehension was one of your weak areas when you
It
started?
was, it was actually like I was always into reading, but I think reading comprehension, reading a text is very easy, but reading it, understanding it, and answering 5 questions in those 5 minutes, that is where the game starts. So even though I've always been into reading, but then I tried to solve as many reading comprehensions as I could, because the entire paper is based on them only. And I tried to do it with a timer, so that I'm conscious that I'm not wasting a lot of time on any particular question.
Right. The actual challenge is to actually manage the paper in the given time frame. If
Right,
somebody asks you to solve the paper, anybody can do it. But then
right,
the challenge is to do it in the time frame, right?
right, right.
So basically, you practice time-bounded test and all.
Yeah. I mean, it's very important that whenever you're solving questions, don't just solve it in in like, let's say if you solve 10 questions in 1 hour, it doesn't make sense, because you won't get that much time in the paper. So it's important that you solve a particular number of questions in a time limit where you force yourself to do better. So yeah.
Right. Okay. Now, one important question, which I mean, every student is very keen, in knowing, is that there is a level of difference now. There is quite a difference in the CLAT pattern and the AILET pattern. And since you scored AIR 27 in CLAT and AIR 11 in AILET, now the question is, how did you manage your preparation level on both aspects, right? In CLAT as well as AILET, how did you balance your preparation?
Since the pattern changed, so until the pattern changed, I had practiced a lot of analytical reasoning questions and math. I practiced a lot of maths questions, so that helped me with my AILET this year. But at the same time, I think even the way of asking the question has changed. The subject base remains the same. Like even AILET asks you about critical reasoning, and even AILET asks reading comprehension and grammar, but they just ask it in a different way. So I think the core remains the same. It's just that those are two different ways of asking the same thing.
Okay. Karthik, you have been my student, and in 2013, I still remember, I mean, you putting a few questions in the class. I still remember some of your questions as well. Now, you mentored Devanshi, and she scored so well. So that is also a proud feeling for me as well, because I mentored you at some point of time in my life. So now, what do you see? I mean, the difference in CLAT when you gave and now the actual level of pattern, अब जो pattern हो चुका है CLAT का, आपने क्या difference analyze किया?
Right. I think it's a very good question, and a lot of people have this question. And a related question to this: should we go back to the old pattern, or is this pattern student savvy or law savvy. My understanding is that the earlier pattern was more on an aptitude based paper, and this pattern is more on a legal aptitude based paper. The understanding to develop a legal aptitude has to develop with reading. You can't be a lawyer until you have like immense concentration to read for like 2 3 hours, and this paper puts you in a position where the passages don't end, where the text doesn't end. You have to be very constant, very concentrated towards the reading from question 1 till question.
So Devanshi, when you were actually writing the CLAT paper, CLAT 2021, and you must have observed that in math section 2, there were passages based questions rather than graphs. Then in reasoning, there were 6 passages, and overall total reasoning section was changed to critical reasoning. And then there were questions in legal sections which are based on conventional law, that is torts, crime and contract. So how was the feeling? मतलब आपको देख करके ये डर लगा कि क्या पैटर्न पूरा चेंज हो गया है और अब whatever we practice in mocks, somewhat different pattern you actually got in the actual paper. So कुछ फर्क पड़ा वहाँ पर?
Yeah, so I mean, it wasn't exactly कि एकदम different pattern आया from the mocks, because like once you start giving a lot of mocks, you get habituated to solve any kind of paper which is put in front of you, and that is something which helped me with CLAT because I had given a lot of mocks. So when I saw the paper, I realized that English and reasoning were very easy, but they were slightly lengthy. And so I did those first, and then I did GK, English and reasoning in the first hour, and then I did math. So even though math was passage based, but it was quite simple. Even like there were a few errors, but like overall it was quite simple. So I did that, and when I moved to legal, that's when I panicked slightly because it was very tough. I mean, not very tough, but it was slightly different from what was expected of the paper. So, but then I tried to rush through it because I just had around 35 minutes, and those questions were, I mean, not very simple. So I think, yeah, legal was a bummer for me.
So how did you manage your anxiety? Or maybe, some students, they feel quite, anxious when they see a difference in what they have actually learned and what they actually get in the paper. So anxiety level को कैसे maintain करें?
I was one of those people. I had a lot of anxiety, but then like as I said, I gave a lot of mocks. Like I think I gave in the 1 month preceding CLAT, I gave a mock every day because this is going to end your fear of the paper. And I realized also another thought which was going on in my head was that this is the final paper. Even if you're anxious, you'll have to do it. So it's better that you do it with a free mind. So also another thing that I know you have to prepare a lot for CLAT, but at the same time, having the right mindset while giving the paper is very, very important. So for example, I meditated for around 10 minutes before the paper began so that I'm more concentrated and, able to better perform in the paper.
All right, right. So that is something, I mean, you have given a very good message for the students who are preparing for CLAT or ALATE 2022 and 23, how to manage your anxiety. What message would you like to give to the students, the aspirants of CLAT 2022, CLAT 2023?
I think it's more of a lesson that I learned when I saw the GK section, that don't leave anything. They can ask you anything. So prepare for whatever comes your way. For example, even if there is a topic which you don't think is important, I would suggest you prepare that as well, because like CLAT can ask you anything. And apart from that, I think it's very important that I would say don't hesitate from writing a mock. A mock is very important, and it's the most holistic way to prepare for CLAT, because you have 5 sections, you have a time limit, and you will be able to analyze what went wrong. And I think giving a lot of mocks is what helped me in my second attempt, because in the first attempt, I thought I did not give a lot of mocks. So give a lot of mocks, and if you get a bad score, don't get disheartened, because what is important is that you learn from your mistakes and your failures and not repeat them again. So that is one message which I would like to give.
All right. So as per you, analysis is more important than writing the mocks. Even if you write 100 mocks, actually it doesn't help until only you do the analysis of those mocks.
Yeah, I mean, it's very important to write a lot of mocks, and along with it, analyzing those mocks very nicely.
What would you say the rightmost strategy to analyze?
First, I think what I would do is I would separate the questions. For example, in a section, I would separate the questions where I made a silly mistake and where I genuinely had a skill error, I would say. So if those skill errors can be filled, and those silly mistakes, you need to keep them in mind so that you don't do it again. And once, like while you're analyzing the mock, you have to like go through the analysis. But before that, try to reason out with yourself that why isn't the option that you marked is the right answer. Especially that helps in critical reasoning when one tries to apply the Socratic method with themselves, that why isn't this the answer, and why is the given answer C? And then you would realize, okay, yes, I made this mistake, it was mentioned in the passage, at least it happened with me. So I think that's very important.
One very important question which actually popped up just now is about quant section. There are many students who feel that quant section is not at all important. The weightage of this particular section is very, very low. So can we avoid quant section overall?
Not at all, not at all. Quant, I think, is the section which makes, which gives you the edge. For example, if my score in CLAT was 108, and if I had not attempted the quant section, I think it would have been around 98, 99. So I wouldn't have gotten into NLS Bangalore. So it's important that you don't leave anything, because also on the final day, you won't know what kind of paper is going to come. So what
Right.
if it's an easy paper and everyone solves everything else, and quant is the make or break section. So I think and plus now there are around 5 to 6 isolated topics. For example, percentages, profit and loss, time, speed and distance, time and work, which even if you solve the basics, then you will be able to solve it in the paper. So I think it's very important that one prepares for math, like quantitative aptitude, very nicely.
It happens with a lot of students because it is important to realize that if you actually are planning to leave quant overall, your paper actually reduces to 135 marks and not 150. And same goes for ERIC. It is for 140 and not out of 150. So it is very, very important. And moreover, when we see the ranks, I mean, if we talk about the NLUs, which is between 4th to 8th NLU, there is a very marginal difference between the scores of the students. And due to the quant edge only, I believe they can actually get a better NLU, right? So ये जरूरी है students को realize करना कि quant is very, very important बाकी students के ऊपर edge लेने के लिए. So that was a very, very good and insightful session with both of you. Thank you so much, Devanshi and Karthik.
Thank you so much.
So I wish you all the very best, Devanshi. I wish you that you come out of flying colors eventually and you achieve heights in whatever future endeavors you pursue.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Thank you, Karthik. Thank you, Devanshi. Thank you so much. Yeah. Bye-bye. All the best.